For this video, we will be talking about section 10.2, which is multiplying polynomials by monomials. So when we have multiplying a monomial and a trinomial, we use the distributive property. You multiply the coefficients and you add the exponents of powers with the same base. So remember from our exponents chapter, when we have multiplication, we add the exponents. Now that's different than what we talked about in 10.1, because in 10.1, we were just combining like terms. If you are adding the bases, you do not add the exponents. So that's going to be the number one thing that you're going to have to be able to balance for today. So looking at 1 through 6 here, we have multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. And again, I'm going to pause the video this time. My parentheses are gone, so give me 1 second. Okay. We should be good to go now. So looking at number 1, we're going to distribute negative 2x squared to 3x cubed. So negative 2 times 3 would give me 6. And then x squared times x to the third, 2 plus 3 would give me 6x to the fifth. Whoops, and that should be a negative 6x to the fifth because negative 2 times 3 would give us a negative 6. Then we have negative 2 times 6 would give us negative 12. X squared times x would give me x to the third because 2 plus 1 would be 3. Then I have negative 2x squared times negative 5. Two negatives make a positive. 2 times 5 is 10. X squared times no other x's over here would still just give me x squared. And that would be our final answer. We do need to still make sure our answer is in standard form. And in this case, 5, 3, 2 goes in order from greatest to least. So then on number 2, we have 4 times 5 would give us 20. X times x squared would give us x to the third. And then 4 times x would give us plus 4x squared, because remember this technically has a 1 for a coefficient, so 4 times 1 is 4, and then x times x would give us x squared. And then we have 4x times 6, so that would give us plus 24x. And again, it is in standard form, so we're good to go on that one. On number 3, distribute the negative 7y, so then this would give me negative 21y cubed. Negative 7 times negative 8y would give us plus 56y squared. And then negative 7y times negative 1 would give us plus 7y. Again, it is in standard form, so good to go. On number 4, 2x times x squared. Again, so just to break this down one more time, 2 times 1 is 2. X times x squared, this is x to the first, so 1 plus 2 gives us that x to the third power. Then I have 2 times negative 6 would give me negative 12, and then x times x would give me x squared. And then 2x times 5, so 2 times 5 gives me 10, x times nothing else to add it to would just give us the regular x that we started with. Now on number 5, you'll notice that we actually have to distribute and then combine like terms if we need to. So 4 times x squared would give us 4x squared. 4 times negative 3 gives us negative 12. Then I have x times x would give me plus x squared, and then x times 1 gives me plus x. So now I have to combine my like terms. Again, it has to be in standard form, so I want the highest degree first. So 4x squared and x squared would give us 5x squared. And then I only see an x by itself, and then this minus 12. And remember, I'm doing those lines to show what I'm grouping together, if you remember that from 10.1. Number 6. 5x to the third times x would give us 5x to the fourth, because 3 and 1 makes 4, and then plus 30x to the third would be our final answer on that one. On 7 and 8, it is very similar to what we just did on number 5. It's just a little bit longer. So we have 3x times 6x cubed would give us 18x to the fourth, and then 3x times negative 4x would give us negative 12x squared, and then negative 2 times 9x to the fourth would give us negative 18x to the fourth, and negative 2 times negative 11 would give us plus 22. Next, we have to combine like terms and put it in standard form. So I see multiple x to the fourths. However, in this case, 18 and negative 18, those actually end up canceling out. So then we're just left with negative 12x squared plus 22, because neither of those things combine with anything else. And in standard form, it goes from greatest to least, so we're good to go. On number 8, we have negative 4x squared times negative 5x, so 2 negatives make a positive. 4 times 5 is 20. X to the second times x to the first would give us x to the third. Negative 4x squared times negative 3, again, 2 negatives make a positive. 4 times 3 is 12, and then just x squared, and then distribute this negative 6x, so we have negative 6x to the third times negative 7x would give us plus 42x to the second, and then times a negative 4 would give us plus 24x. Now we have to combine like terms. The highest degree I see is 3, so I'm going to go ahead and combine those together. That would give me 14x to the third. Then the next highest degree I see are 2's. So 12 and 42 gives me 54x to the second. And then we have this last plus 24x. That would be our final answer. And then on 9 and 10, you'll actually notice that we have an equal sign in between these two. So now we're actually solving equations with polynomial expressions. So this negative 16x, I'm going to go ahead and just bring down. There's nothing to do on that side. But then I have to distribute this negative 2 to x plus 3. So that would give me negative 2x minus 6. And then distribute this 3, so plus 18x minus 90. Then I'm going to combine my like terms on the right-hand side. So I'm going to combine those two together and these two together. So I have negative 16x equals, let's see, that would give us 16x and then minus 96. Then I'm going to subtract 16x from both sides. Once I have all of my like terms combined, I need to move my x's to the left and my constants to the right. You'll notice negative 96 is the only constant left, and it's already on the right-hand side. So the only thing left to do is get to my x's all on the same side. So negative 16 and negative 16, those do not cancel out. They make negative 32x equals negative 96. Divide both sides by negative 32, and x is equal to a positive 3. Moving on to number 10 here, I'm going to distribute, and you'll notice we actually have a lot to distribute. So I'm going to start over as far to the left as I can. So I have negative 8x squared, and you'll have to write a little bit smaller on this one, I'm sure. So plus 18x, and then equals, distribute this x, so negative 8x squared, plus 15x, and then distribute the negative 3, so plus 12x, plus 18. Then on each side, so the left side and the right side, I'm going to combine my like terms. So on the left side, I don't see any like terms, so I'm going to go ahead and just copy those down. Negative 8x squared plus 18x equals, and then I do not see any other x squared, so I'm just going to bring that down, negative 8x squared. I do see 2 x's, so I can add those together and get 27x, and then I just see a plus 18. Next step would be to get all of your x's on the left and all of your constants on the right. So I see I have 2 different x terms. So I'm going to go ahead and add 8x squared to both sides, and I'm going to line them up underneath each other. And then I also can go ahead and subtract 27x from both sides, because again, I'm trying to get all of my x's, my variables, on the same side together. Now you'll notice in this case when we do this, negative 8x squared and 8x squared cancels out. Then 18x minus 27x gives us negative 9x, and then these also canceled out, and these canceled out. You'll notice in these problems, I actually show what cancels out a lot more, because you'll notice that these problems get very busy and it'll be a lot harder to stay organized. So anytime things cancel out, I will be diligent about crossing those things out so that I don't write anything twice or write anything incorrectly or anything like that. My last step here would be to divide both sides by negative 9, and x would be negative 2. Now I will tell you, whenever you see an exponent in these equations when we're solving, we actually have not done anything with exponents higher than 1 for solving equations. So as long as you've done everything correctly, this should happen. If you have any exponents other than 1, they should eventually cancel out. If they don't, you will know that you have done something wrong. That's it for these notes. These were really short today. So congrats.